Now, moving over to oil. Oil's had a breakdown and it's come back down for retest back towards a 200-day moving average. So we've seen additional follow through to the downside. We took advantage of a breakdown last week of this acceleration to the downside, particularly once we broke through support around the 53.50 zone, took this down to the next level of key support. Now, right now, I would suggest oil also, it's at a bit of a decision point here as well. Looking at this, of course, trend channels can always be a little bit subjective, but it is noteworthy how well we are holding onto one of these channels in particular. I'll just bring it out for you. Okay, so this channel here, which marries up the lows going back to April, the lows going back to also August, the lows, and these lows tend to be lows as well, where the price just stays below the 200-day moving average for a very short period of time before retracing and managing to find support again. The lows going back to November, also the recent lows in March, and we're creating lower highs, but potentially higher lows here as well. So I just latch again that trend channel on just to show you where it marries up to the price, and we're more or less sitting at that level at the moment, around the 51.20 zone, where oil, this is Brent crude oil, is getting supported, or certainly this key level at the moment. It has come back down for a break below the 200-day moving average, but on much tighter time frames, it's getting a bit of a bounce off this layer of support. I would be careful shorting or selling into this oil move at the moment for any fresh positions now. Certainly if you shorted at the upper end here of resistance, taking advantage of this breakdown in price, you've done very well off oil, taking it back down to major support. But at the moment, you've got all of this chop right now on the chart. So new fresh positions, I would be careful because of all this underlying support where we've previously seen breaks down, short-term breaks of support there only to retrace higher. And you've got quite a lot of underlying support with these trend channels as well. So yeah, I'm monitoring the price structure of oil today very carefully around this zone, especially if we can retrace, if we can get another bounce off this layer, so underlying level of support close back above the 200-day moving average, I would suggest we could then potentially be in for another rotation higher here, just continue to consolidate and get within a tighter range. Now again, we've got the OPEC meeting which is coming up in May, as well, which is going to be Friday the 26th of May in Vienna, Austria, which always can be a big mover for oil prices. So looking forward to that as a trading opportunity. And at the moment, I'm watching oil carefully here to see the short term. The last 3 days worth of consolidation has broken down. It's broken down. It's been good for approximately about 70 to 80 points in this breakdown. But I would suggest we're getting oversold at the moment. We're at a key area. Of course, if we break and close below this trend channel, we've got opens up the door for lower prices on oil here. But so far, we're getting a bit of a bounce off this level. I would be monitoring that and be careful on the short side, looking to take profits around this zone because of the potential for a retracement and a short-term bounce higher here. So that's what I'm looking out for. Brent crude oil at the moment, it's a similar situation with US oil as well. So both of them are very similar in terms of these price structures. And again, if you go over and have a look at US oil here, you'll see this quite clearly on the chart. These weekly channels have been very supportive. The price has moved and ricocheted between these levels very well. Sometimes you can overshoot. So you've got two trend channels there. You can overshoot this supportive layer, break down slightly lower, and then form a rejection candle into the close around this zone. But now what is noteworthy is we're getting lower highs and also higher lows as well. So I'm watching this zone for any potential retracements and movements in price back up again. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on that zone again on just really very much tighter time frames. I'll just show you that with, let's have a look, UK oil.